The Grillaz on the Rebel.
It's the Grillaz, and we are joined in the studio by the owner of, well, numerous restaurants and catering business and Moo Moo's Blowfish, Steve Adams. Thank you so much for joining us, mate.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, not a problem. You, like me, are a POM. We love it. We love being English, obviously. You came of a
bit of a gang up.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. And we like it like this. So just keep your mouth shut.
Right before the Ashes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, don't start.
So you came across, and you've got a really interesting history, mate. You worked in British Aerospace, didn't you, for a while?
Yes, that's right. Yes. I was aerospace engineering back then.
Yeah. Tell us about the journey then, mate, because obviously it's been quite a journey. You've got such successful restaurants now, and Scotty knows more than most that Moo Moo's is my favourite restaurant. How did it get to this, mate? Tell us about the journey.
Well, I obviously came here on my skilled visa.
Just move forward a little bit. Sorry.
Obviously came here on my skilled visa.
Yeah, cool.
2001.
Yeah.
All those years ago. So obviously with my British Aerospace experience, wanted to come and have a change of scenery, live in the sun, experience the weather that obviously you realise we don't get back home.
Yeah.
So we came over here. We wanted to do something different. Obviously, the Gold Coast doesn't have a lot of aerospace experience.
Well, this is
saying that now. There's a rocket company up
I was
the
going
road,
to say,
isn't there?
the old strawberry farm. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. And I'd love to see that. And we ended up with Subway stores originally, franchises.
Yeah.
And they're getting a bit of a bad rap at the moment, as we all see in the papers, franchises. But Subway was brilliant for us. It taught us a lot. Taught us a lot about cost controls and businesses and things like that. And eventually it ended up leading on to what we have today with Moo Moo.
Yeah,
so,
and we talked about Moo Moo's, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago?
It's a longer journey than that. That's the shortest.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've got all day, mate. We can talk forever. Don't worry about that. So we talked about. I loved this, and I talked to you last week about it, Steve. That your way to tell me this beautiful story about the meat coming from Japan, the Wagyu meat.
Bullshit.
Scotty called it bullshit. I actually Googled it at the time, and it could have been true, and I, for one, like to believe it. But what about, so just to put the viewers, the listeners into perspective, into what we're talking about, these cows, they're fattened up, they drink beer, they live the life of Riley.
I can see the look in his eye already. This story's going nowhere.
So, what was your word?
Go on then, Steve. It's an English guy, isn't it, telling this story?
He's no longer with us, not because of that reason. But yeah, I've heard this for 20 years, this story, and maybe it happened at one point with one cow or one beast as they are, but no, that's not really the way they're bred. So there's a bit more to it than that.
You've broken my heart, mate. I'll be honest with you.
So I didn't say it didn't happen though.
Yeah.
Just on a serious note, so do you get all your produce in that locally, or?
We try and use as much locally as possible, of course. So we like to support local businesses and the trickle-down effect of supporting local businesses. So as much as we can is purchased locally. So the beef comes from all over Australia, but it comes through local suppliers as well.
Gotcha.
So, and we have 20-year relationships with these guys.
Yeah, perfect. And your seafood, local trawlers and that for
local
blowfish?
Fishermen, yeah. And so blowfish, the menu can change to... a lot of it's not caught to order. It's whatever they catch.
Yep.
They tell us what they've got, and we'll adjust the menu to it.
How good.
So every couple of weeks we're changing the menu, changing the seafood on it. It's basically what's the freshest, best produce they can give us, and that's what we'll put on
That's
the menu.
great.
Now, Scotty and I differ in our opinions sometimes about, because he always rips the piss out of me because I'll go out and spend $400 or $500 on a meal.
He earns a lot more than me.
I don't. This is the thing. I don't. But for me, it's always worth it. I love going to a fancy restaurant, buying the best meat, and really just savouring the taste. And Scotty said something a couple of weeks ago about, the seafood's all from the same trawler. The meats, he said, what is the sticky table? You're still going to get the sticky floors.
Stinky tables.
Stinky tables. I said, mate, you're eating at the wrong restaurant.
I don't know where he's eating. So
why is it, for me, it's a no-brainer, but you tell us, Steve, why is it worth kind of, branching out and spending a bit more to go to the restaurants?
Look, I mean, it all comes down to personal tastes, what everyone likes and what an individual likes. But, if you're looking for something that's special, a little bit out of the ordinary, something that gives you an experience, it's all about experience, ambience in the venue, and also the produce, the produce that you just can't get anywhere So and served in that expensive fit out, you know.
Yeah.
So something that you just don't do every night. So something that you can go out and it's really special with your partner, your wife, or your girlfriend, or
whoever.
boyfriend.
Whatever you want.
I'm looking at it. No, I didn't say I'm looking at Scotty then. But something different, something out of the ordinary, something that's a bit special, and enjoy it.
But you must have been listening to us, Steve, because at Blowfish, you've kind of brought pub prices on a Sunday with that beautiful restaurant experience. And I'm talking about the old lamb roast that my partner and I devoured a couple of weeks ago. $90, mate, for 2 people, and you get... I've told him about this. You know what he said to me, Steve? He said, I wonder if he'll give me a further discount when he comes. I said, you can't get a further discount.
That would have been you. That would have been you praying at the door.
But yeah, tell us about that, mate, because that's drawing the flocks in, isn't it?
Well, pub pricing, I don't know about that, but it is a steal. So I'll take that off you. So and appreciate the comments there. It is a steal, and it is proving extremely popular already. We're only into our 3rd week. And already it's growing and growing and growing, and we're having our busiest Sundays that we've ever had.
Yeah.
So, and people are coming in from all over, and the idea of it is to get bums on seats. It is amazing. So I'm maybe biased.
No, I concur.
But who doesn't love a Sunday roast?
Yeah,
honestly?
exactly, yeah.
And it is pretty special.
Yeah.
It's about 1 to 1.1 kilo of lamb shoulder, high-end quality produce,
Yeah.
again, with honey roasted carrots, classic English Yorkshire puddings, homemade mint sauce and gravy,
Wow.
roast potatoes.
I'm salivating.
All coming out on a big board.
That is an
Everyone
ad.
who
I'm putting
sees
that
it-
out as a radio ad for Blowfish. That is so good.
Everyone who sees it is absolutely blown away. The first week we had it, a couple of weeks ago, I had to laugh because there was a couple sat next to us. And we had 4 of these big boards came out, and there was a mountain of food there.
Yeah.
And everyone finished it, by the way. But there were 2 people sat next to us, and the guy's got a piece of fish in front of him, which is amazing, of course. It's blowfish, let's get that
Yeah,
straight.
that's right.
But he kept looking over at these boards, and his wife's looking at him, and she's going, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? You said you wanted that, eat that.
But I want to go and join them.
But they ended up laughing and coming over and joining us, actually, and it was really good.
Awesome. But what I love about it is the kind of business nous on your part. Jade and I think I said this, we still ended up spending happily $300 because we got on the cocktails, we had a bottle of wine. We had the little boy with us, by the way, but he was happy.
He drove home.
He drove home.
Only joking.
He was fine, yeah. But that's clever, isn't it? And that's the thing, and we talked about it, pubs do it, restaurants do it, where you get nice little special offering there that's worth it and delicious. You're going to get those people in, you're going to get them spending the money regardless.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, it's getting bums on seats, offering some value in a high-end establishment like that is, and doing something that people actually, there's a demand for. And clearly there is a demand for what we're doing because you're already seeing it and doing it well. So, and obviously you experienced it, and it's pretty bloody awesome. And every Saturday I can feel myself craving it.
Yeah,
Me too now. So
I want it now.
with the moo moo side of it too, so obviously you've got a different range of your steaks and things like that and different varieties. So if you haven't got the money to spend the $400, there'd still be a steak there that you could go there and have a meal and just
absolutely.
and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Moo Moo's signature.
People share that a lot.
Yeah,
But I'm, look, we are a higher end restaurant.
Yep.
But I'm also quite passionate about trying to keep our prices so that people you can choose to spend. You can go entry level, which is still an amazing product that we offer.
Yep.
And I'm very passionate about people being able to afford to come and experience Moo Moo.
That's right.
Or Blowfish, for example.
Yep.
As you can see. So I try to cater as much as I possibly can to, we do as much as we can to get people in there and to be able to come and experience and afford to do it.
Yeah, it's great. Especially, anniversaries all the time, birthdays. You've got to get there. It's an amazing spot.
We don't want to be an elitist venue. We don't. That's not what we're after.
No.
We want people to be able to come and enjoy it, and even if it's once every few months or once every 6 months, whatever it is. But they, they don't feel that it's out of reach for them. So
great.
Excellent.
It seems to work.
Sounded a bit croaky, mate. I hear you had some Australian awards ceremony last night, mate.
Yes, it was the the state awards for excellent for Restaurant and Catering Australia.
Yeah, and I know you've got a few under your belt already.
Yes, over 20 years we've got many awards under our belt. 2 years ago we were runner-up in Australia for Best Steak Restaurant.
Wow.
And but you can't win every year, so and unfortunately last
Let
night
someone else
we
have a
lost.
go every now and then.
Yeah, you got to. We've got plenty under our belt, and we've got a couple of chef's hats as well this year. Blowfish just picked one up in its first year, which we were
Brilliant.
very, very pleased with. Gold Coast Moo Moo has a chef's hat as well. But last night we walked away empty-handed, but I said to the team, don't be too down. You know, we know how good a job we do, and we can't win every year.
Absolutely.
It's all about looking at your customers and how often the repeat customers come back, and how often these people are in our venues every week, and full houses every night. That's what matters most.
Now, we had a couple of beers at Moo Moo's last week, Steve, and I remember you. He was kind of DJing almost. He kept going up saying, "What's this music? Can you change this music?" What I love about you, and same when we ate at Blowfish, is the live music there. You've got everything going. It's not just about going, sitting down, and having a bit of food, is it?
No. It's about providing that ambience, that atmosphere. I've always been passionate about having a certain type of atmosphere in my venue, and that includes having the music raised a little bit to the detriment of some of our older customers.
Yeah.
So who want to turn it down.
Yeah.
So, but obviously it works. Hence why we're why we're full house all the time. So yeah, people love it. So
absolutely,
which they come up to me and tell me all the time. So.
Yeah, we touched on it before as well. You've kind of come on a really long journey of having the franchises, and then really kind of taking a risk with Moo Moo's. And yeah, I mean, you've got, what else have you got going on, Steve? You talked about a catering company that you also own.
Yes, we have a catering division called Moo Moo to You.
Right.
Run by a lovely lady called Jodie. She's a partner in the business, and I basically let her run the whole shebang. So it takes a headache off of my shoulders. So she does a fantastic job, and we do a lot of weddings every month. We work with numerous wedding venues to do big scale events. We've done the Turf Club in Brisbane, the Birdcage, and events here, Qantas, and also Porsche, Tag, and we do all sorts of businesses, and up to 1,000 people catering. So
Yeah, wow.
so
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing how far you've come, mate. But tell me about that decision when you touched on it when we met last week about, you know, really putting all your eggs in one basket, and to where you've come now, but taking that risk. How was that at the time to really kind of go all in for Moo Moo's?
Nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I bet.
Nerve-wracking.
Especially going from a $12 footlong to
Yeah,
serving what you do now.
Well, we did very well with the Subways at the time. It was a time when everyone wanted to buy in the Subway, and Subway was in its ascendancy and becoming the big new thing with all the Eat Fresh and everything. The marketing was great. Of course, you had Jared with the trousers back then. Remember, we're not allowed to talk about him anymore, though, are we? So, but
You're right, mate. We can edit that out. Don't worry about that.
So it was a huge call to sell the stores, to build a restaurant in a city that we didn't live in.
Yeah.
Didn't know anyone in.
Of course, because you did the Brisbane one initially first.
No,
Gold Coast first. Okay.
Gold Coast was first. 20 years now.
Yeah.
This month or so.
Yeah.
And Brisbane's 15 years.
Yeah.
So, but it was a huge nerve-wracking decision to do that, and I looked for years to find the right site, and nothing was right. We would get to the stage ready to commit and everything, and I just didn't feel right. Something felt off. And then I found this site driving up the highway one day on my own in my car, and I didn't know this building. It was relatively a year old, 2 years old, and there were no shops under it at the time. But it had lease signs everywhere, so everything was empty, still brand new. And I drove around, and I just looked at it. I was like, "That's it."
Yeah.
I just knew. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just know.
That's the Broadbeach one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that too, because it does. I mean, you've got Convention Centre, you've got the...
Well, we didn't back then, though,
Yeah,
did
okay.
we had nothing.
Wow.
We didn't have the Oracle, we didn't have the Way.
But you are the Oracle. You saw the future, mate, and
well, maybe.
because that location couldn't be more perfect, could it? Where Moo Moo's is?
It's virtually
really,
standalone, isn't it?
Yeah, we're the centre of Broadbeach now.
Yeah.
And I sort of thought in years to come that it could be that. So when we opened, there was no convention centre, no Oracle, no Wave. It was a rundown Mercure hotel, not the Sofitel.
Right.
And on the day I signed my lease, they announced a $50 million refit, I think, an upgrade into the Sofitel.
Nice.
And I was like,
Yes.
bang,
Thank God. You described the other day to me, I think, the Brisbane Moo as New York and the one in Broad Beach as Miami. And
Yes.
I said to you, it's a different experience. When I go up to the Brisbane one, we've had a couple of spectacular meals. I love the location. It's just different, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what do you mean by Miami and New York?
Well, they're both still Moo, of course. So
Yeah.
they're very much Moo, and you know they're Moo, but they just have that different feel. Whereas the Brisbane venue is obviously heritage listed, 1880.
Yeah.
I believe it's Brisbane's second oldest building in the city. We're currently going through some big renovations with the exterior of the building, which is a bit of a headache. So. And taking longer than expected, but it's already starting to look, after many years of neglect, starting to look awesome again, brand new again. So, and obviously our restaurant inside is brand new anyway. So, but that has that real heritage, New York sort of heritage style in the bar there. You know, walking up that grand staircase, everyone says it's an experience. It's almost.
I was going to say that sounds like an experience itself.
It's like walking in the Titanic.
Yeah, how good.
But it's beautiful to walk up that big wooden staircase, and you come up with the flames on the grill right in front of you, and you walk to the bar with high ceilings and 6 balconies, 4 private dining rooms. It's a real experience.
It is.
And then on the Gold Coast, we got the other end of the stick. You know, we got the GC vibe. So, but like the Miami sort of style. So,
but still like a classy. Like you walk in and you're like, oh,
absolutely.
Now, as I said,
it's
Steve,
always interesting to hear which one people like as well, and always people have a differing view on which one they like and why, and it's always interesting and fun.
I hate to say it, and I think if you could put me in one for lunch now and I had to choose, I'd choose the Brisbane one, and I don't know why. I love Gold Coast one because we go more often than we do Brisbane, but there's something about that Brisbane one. You feel like you could be in, I don't know, somewhere in spectacular in the world. And now we talked about we're going to release this as a podcast, Steve. So we're going to talk a little bit about football, mate. I think real football.
Are you sure you want it?
Not AFL.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were going to talk about Port Adelaide and the Gold Coast Suns.
Oh, well, I mean, we can if you want. But. So you're a Southampton fan, mate?
I am.
For your sins. I mean, I can't say anything because I'm a Barnsley fan. But so they came down last year. Obviously, they're going to get their £49 million parachute payment, which can help this season. What are your thoughts on the upcoming season, then, mate?
Well, we scraped by a non-league team last night, I believe, Eastleigh, which are also Southampton. So, and it always frustrates me pre-season when you hear a essentially what we are a Premier League club, even though but we really are. And we should be back this season.
You can sense the bitterness in his voice.
I can indeed.
But it always frustrates me when you go in pre-season and you're scraping by a non-league team, and the manager goes, "Oh, well, it's good to get 90 minutes under the belt." Blah 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 blah. I was like, please, these guys are on £100,000 a week. Seriously, they're playing against non-league team. They should be thumping them 7-0 already. So
this is true.
They're not unfit. God.
You reckon they'll get back up this season?
I think they will. I think the new manager is pretty cluey. Obviously, they've gone and got him from France. He was very highly rated, this guy. He's pretty young, and he's been doing this for a while now. But he really does seem to... The more I listen to him, the more I like him.
Yeah.
And he really seems to have a lot of respect from the players already. There was a bit of indifference when he was recruited, but I think the fan base is really starting to warm to him and think that we might have somebody pretty special here.
Until he starts losing.
Basically,
We're very fickle, aren't we?
Yes, well, that's the game, isn't it? So
I know, like me, you've been following Welcome to Wrexham a little bit as well, and they've obviously, back to back. It's just a beautiful story. I really enjoy it, the story in itself.
Absolutely.
But do you think they without that? I mean, they've got that financial injection, but do you think they can actually do it again this season?
Well, funnily enough, that's our first game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So they're at home to us.
Yeah.
So and they've had a fantastic. It's been a brilliant story to watch. I don't know. I don't know if the championship is too big a jump. So I mean, the divisions they've come through now. Yeah, you could say the level is not such a big jump every time, but I think to go to the championship requires another level of investment, A lot more money, a lot more investment, a lot more money.
Yeah.
But not only just infrastructure wise, everything. I think they're talking about remodeling their stadium as well. But I don't know. The playing staff obviously need to be updated. Haven't seen what players they've signed in the last week or so. But one of their main strikers is a Southampton fan, so we'll see how that goes. And he was quite emotional talking the other day.
Yeah.
So about actually getting to play at St Mary's about
I saw
Southampton.
that. Yeah.
And I thought that was quite nice actually. So I hope from our fans he actually gets a good reception. So, but it will be interesting to watch.
It certainly will. It certainly will. And Scotty and I have got so much we will talk about in subsequent weeks, and we'll certainly have you back, Steve, if you're willing to come in and join us on the Grillaz.
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure and a lot of fun.
But I will see you tomorrow night for the lamb roast at Blowfish for sure.
Absolutely.